Okay, so today we'll start with the basic concept, web URL. Okay, I think yesterday we have started because of some network connectivity issue. So we're not just started, right? So from today we'll start the sessions. Okay. So before learning the API testing, means before jumping into the API testing concept, okay. So we have to know all this basic knowledge. Without knowing this basic knowledge, it's very difficult to understand what we are working with API testing. Okay. So today we'll start with a web URL. This is very basic concept. Some of you are know about this concept, or some of you are not knowing. But I have to take everyone in the same boat, right? So that's why I'm taking from very basic scratch level to the advanced level in this course. Okay. Okay. So web URL. Okay, what's this web URL? What is the resource location? Have any idea? Hmm. How we will identify multiple resources? What is resources basically in application? Resources or modules or functionality. If you are working in already in automation, okay, fine. Okay. See, for example, this is one application. Okay, the application is a DurgaSoft. So inside the DurgaSoft application, we have, let me write from scratch.
Hello,
Yes, yeah.
am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, actually, sorry for interrupting. Actually, today I am attending the first class. I thought it's demo class. Actually,
Yeah.
it's a demo class or API class is started.
It's a demo class only, but this is a part of the API classes.
Yeah, actually,
Okay.
it's API only or it's containing automation testing everything else.
No. API testing only.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Consider this is okay. 8 5, right? We'll wait then 2 minutes, guys. Okay. We'll wait 2 minutes. Then we'll start the session. It's just 8 5, right?
Ma'am, yesterday class was there?
No, it was not there. We have cancelled it. Today is the first session. Okay.
Okay.
In demo also today is the first session. We'll wait 2 more minutes, guys. Okay, then we will start the session. I think some of the folks are joining it. We'll wait 2 minutes and then we'll start. Okay. Okay. Okay, so as part of our API testing learning, so today we are starting with a web URL concept. Okay, so what is this web URL? Okay, let's take an application. So this is an application. Okay, so in this application, we'll be having a multiple options like home, contact, about, or services. Okay, so like this, we'll be having a option. Okay, so this options we call it as a in functionality terminology we call it as a uh, modules or functionality, or in API terminology we call it as a resource. Okay. Hmm. So this is all the multiple resources, different resources which is available inside the uh, let's take suppose this is a DurgaSoft application. Okay, so this is in a DurgaSoft application. In that we have a multiple modules or functionality or resources. Okay, so all different name, but which is doing the same work. Okay, this is in a DurgaSoft application, and this is an we call it as a module. This is a functionality or resources. Okay, so suppose if you want to access the home resource, what will be the URL in this case? Okay, so I will take like this as of now, https durgasoft.com, and I want to access the home resource alone. Okay, so home. So what it will do immediately? Okay, so immediately what it will do? See, HTTP is the protocol. I will tell you later. Okay, what is this protocol and what is we called as a domain name? What is this resources? How to identify all this? Things tell you. So now what's happening here with this URL? HTTPS is a protocol and durgasoft.com is my domain name. The control will goes from here to the application. Okay, so and inside the application, we are interested to access the home alone. Okay, so what it will do? Immediately control will comes here and it will access the home. Okay, then whatever the action it has to perform here, it will do. Okay, so say suppose if I want to access the about, the same. Okay, HTTPS and domain name slash bot. Okay, so what's happening here? If if you look at this address, what's happening here? So we are uniquely identifying the each and every resources here. If you want home, yes, the URL will be like this. If you want about, the URL will be like this. Okay, so this is what they are specifying here. Web uniform resource location. Okay, what is URL means? In interview, they will ask you what is URL. Okay, so you will tell like uniform resource location. So they will tell like how it will be uniform resource location. So what it is doing, uniquely identify the specific web resource inside the web application. Okay, so DurgaSoft is a durgasoft.com is the web application. Inside that, there are many resources are there. So many resources are there, like home, about, contact, and so on. Okay, so in that, maybe you want to log into the DurgaSoft application, and maybe here like new batches or new courses. Okay, new batches or new courses, whatever it may be. Okay, you want to check what are all the new courses they are starting in this month. In the Feb month, what are the new batches they are starting? You want to know about that. So what you have to do, you have to travel to the new batches, right? So in UI, what we will do, we will go to the DurgaSoft application, and in that DurgaSoft application, we simply click on the new batches, and we will be going through that list. But in the back end, this is how it will be working. Okay, so first it will access the service will access the DurgaSoft application. Then when we click on this new batches, immediately you can check that in the URL in the browser. Whenever you are performing action in the UI in the browser, like this unique address will be displaying. Correct. For example, see, we are logging into the Zoom, right? Zoom.us. This is my domain, and the other address, whatever they're specifying, this is something, address they are providing to access this Zoom application. Okay. So this is what we call it as in a web URL. So in interview, if they ask you what is web URL and how it will identify unique resources uniquely, you have to tell all the story. Okay, so like uniquely identify the specific web resource inside any of the application. Okay, and some information about the URL is the only one way to access the web application via browser. Okay, I think you all know that. And maximum number of characters in the URL is 200. Okay, I mean to say, see https durgasoft.com and /o. Okay, so after this, you can, if you want to, provide some many details, means like this, you can enter, but up to 200 character. That's it. If it is 201 also, the service will, reject your request. It will not accept that. Means inside the browser, okay, you can enter the URL up to 200 character. If you try to enter above the 200 character, that will not consider it as a request. Means web, it will not consider that as a URL. Okay, it will reject that service. This is all basic information you should be knowing for the interview perspective. Okay. Okay, so then, okay, we are talking about the URL. Then you have to understand that, okay, here I'm writing https durgasoft.com/home. Okay, all this address I'm writing here. So you can also ask me, right, why you're following. Okay, next address also are written like for the about. To access the about are written like this. You can ask me the question saying, why you have to follow https durgasoft.com/about only. Okay, let me write my about first. Then you follow http. Then you enter the domain name. Domain name is nothing but your application name. Okay. Uh, Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you can ask me the question like, why can't you write like this? Why you're following this approach only? Why you're following, this way only? So why can't we write like this? Because that is what the syntax we have. Okay. So syntax, what it is telling. So first you have to write a protocol. Okay, then you have to immediately after the protocol, you have to write a domain name, then after that port number, then resource path. Then after the resource path, if you want to provide extra information about this resource, or if you want to provide extra information for our request, is then what query string, path parameter, all this will come. Okay, so we will be learning each and everything going forward. Okay, what is this protocol? What is this domain name, port number, resource path, query string, path parameter? All those things we'll be learning. Okay, okay. Now, HTTP slash HTTP hyphen / local host and the double eight index.php. Okay, so this example, it is following the same syntax here. So protocol, they said, okay, we are following the protocol. Then they are specifying that immediately after the protocol, we have to specify the domain name. Okay, so if it is in application is deployed in my system, in my local system, it will be localhost and port number and index.php. Then HTTP protocol, google.com is the domain name. Then slash is there. Then search is there. Search, obviously it is not a port number because port number always be an integer. Search is the resource path here. Okay. Then question mark is there. Then key value pair of data is there here. Right? So key value pair of data means this is nothing but query string. Okay. Now here HTTPS is a protocol, then hyphen double slash, then some number is there here, right? Then slash search, then question mark, then query string. So after the question mark, whatever the key value will come, that we call as a query string here. Okay. Okay. Then now the first one is fine. Okay. So which means, okay, protocol is there, domain name is there, and port number is there, and resource path is there. When it comes to second, okay, HTTP is the protocol, google.com is my domain name, but we don't have a port number. Okay, directly we are skipping this part and we are specifying the resource path here. And then, okay, fine, we are using a query string here. Okay, then you can ask me the question. It is not following the syntax whatever you are written here. Okay, then it is wrong or it is correct. You can make use of a chat. Okay, if you want unmute yourself and speak means you can make use of a chat. So this one, second one is it's a wrong address or it's a correct address according to this syntax.
According to syntax, it seems incorrect, but I think since it is not running on the local host, it is on the server.
Mhm.
Maybe it will work. I don't know. It's guess.
Okay. Okay. So, whatever the syntax is following, okay, I mean to say port number and this fragment ID, okay. So these are all like a optional parameters, okay. If you are specifying and if you are not specifying, that is completely okay. That is not expected from the server, okay. Server is not demanding that you have to specify port number, you have to specify fragment ID, okay. Server is demanding that's it, right? First one is domain name and resource path and other information are important parameters that we are following along with the URL. But this port number and fragment ID, it's like an optional parameter. Most of the time we will not specify it. Okay, so this is just port number is nothing but where exactly your server is located. Okay, in which space it is located exactly. To know about, we just specify the port number. Otherwise it is not doing anything with the request and response that we expecting to perform. Okay, then okay, so here this is a protocol, this is the domain name, and this search is the resource. Okay, so what it is doing in this case is, and this is a query string. Okay, so whenever you are observing the question mark symbol and the key value pair, which is nothing but query string we call. Okay, so query string is nothing but some extra information that we are providing for the resource path that we specified in the URL. Okay, so what's happening here? So it's a http google.com means still this it is a domain name. Okay, so we are telling that for google.com, access the search resource. So inside the search resource, search for iPhone 11. Okay, so this is what it is doing here. So access the google.com and access the search resource path. Then inside the search, search for the iPhone 11. So for this resource path, means search resource, we are providing extra information that is what it has to search. Okay, so this is how we are passing here. And okay, so we know that this HTTP is the protocol. This is the protocol. Okay, and this is the google.com. Okay, always remember name of the application is nothing but a domain name. Okay, my Google is application, so name of the application is nothing but domain name. Okay, so combination of protocol plus domain name. Okay, combination of protocol plus domain name, we call it as a base URL. Okay, so remember this part. This is nothing but a base URL. So protocol plus domain name. Okay, protocol is nothing but HTTPS, HTTP. Okay, so browser level protocol are these two only, HTTP or HTTPS. Combination of this protocol and domain name is nothing but base URL. Okay, then here what's happening? Okay, let's say suppose this is a search resource. So this is a google.com. Here we have a search tab. Okay, so according to this address, it will access first it will access the google.com application, then it will click on the search tab. Inside the search, okay, it is providing some extra information for this search tab, search resource. So it will come here, it will search for the iPhone 11. Okay, so this is what this address is telling all about. So now tell me, so suppose I have like this application, https amazon.com, then slash watches what this address is doing now.
Inside the watches resource, searching for watch fast track watch.
Okay, so which application, what is the domain name?
Amazon in the application Amazon. Inside
Okay,
the resource watches, we are searching for fast track watch.
okay, so what this is then, which is the resource path here?
Watches,
Okay, after the watches what we have?
key search parameter.
IST.
Okay, okay, so now okay, then what it is, what this is address, what is telling all about?
Inside the Amazon application, go for the resource watch, and inside
Hmm.
that, search women's watch. Look for women's watch.
Okay, so what it is then after the watches, what it is?
It's
Same.
again a resource path.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah,
So in
okay,
the
so
watch,
this is
in the watches resource, it will check for the subcategory of women watches.
okay, okay, yeah, yes, okay, good. So here what's happening. So for this watches resource path, we are providing some extra information for that watches resource path, like what it has to do exactly, how we are providing with the help of the query string. Okay, we call it as a query string. Always, query string accepts key value pair. This is the key and this is the value. Okay, so in the value, there, not only the fast track is available, right, inside the watch detail. So there are so many brands will be available, but in that we are interested to search only fast track. So that's why we are providing the value for this resource. Okay. So here what's happening? So this is not a query string. This is something within the path only we are traversing. Okay. See, we are going for the Amazon application. Then we are clicking on the watches resource. Then again we are following with the same path itself. Okay, we are not providing like we are not accessing extra information, and we are not providing extra information for this resource. In the same path only we are traveling. So for that we call it as a path parameter. Inside this path only we are traversing. Okay, maybe it will click on, when we click on the watches, there may be two tabs will be available, like women's and one's. Then we will click on that women's, and then we click on, if we require means we will click on the months. Okay, so within the path only we are traversing, so we call this as a path parameter. This is a query parameter or query string. Okay, so they will ask you these two difference whenever you are attending the interview, to understand how how you are understanding about the attribute that we are following here. Okay, so if they ask for the path parameter, you have to tell like within the path only we will be specifying some resource information, that is nothing but path parameter. you know for the resource, if we are providing some extra particular information, this is like a particular information. Okay, not we are specifying all the brands, only specified information we are providing for the particular resource. So this is nothing but query string or query parameter. Okay, so this is what the difference between the path parameter and query string or query parameter. Okay. Okay, then third one.
Ma'am, one question. So when
Mhm.
you get inside the watches page, so then it will look for the, if like if there is any watch by name fast track, they will look for that only. If it is not there, it will not look. How it is, ma'am? A bit confused.
See, for example, in application, so when we open the Amazon application, there will be multiple brands. Like, maybe this fast tracks and all will be there, like in a checkbox list, it will be there, right? So we will be accessing that checkboxes, right? See, when you open the Amazon.com application, there you will be having the watches, and there maybe you will be having a option to select the brands. So when you select the brands, right side it will open all the checkboxes of the brands. So whenever you're clicking on that, so okay, so suppose this is Amazon application. So there you have a option like a brand selection. Hmm. Here you have a option like a selection of the brands. Okay. So when you click on this brands, so here list of the brand will open like this. You have a list of brands here. Okay. So here how the address will follow: https amazon.com, then slash watches, in that maybe brand resource, brand is equal to here. Okay, so when you click on this brand, so here you will be having a checkbox option, and you will be selecting, and that brand value will go here. Okay, or else you may also have one more resource like a brand. Then for this you will again you will be having a key value panel, like whatever the brand. Okay, yeah, whatever the brand you're searching, if it is not there means the service will throw you an error saying request not found. Okay, by going forwards you will be learning all those status detail. Okay, so okay, you're searching some xyz information. If that is not available, service will check for that information here. So then it will inform you saying the whatever the resource you are you are searching, whatever the information you are searching, that is not available right now or not found, it is unable to fetch that information. So like that it will give you the clear details here. and it will provide you some status code. Based upon that also we will understand, okay, whatever we are searching, maybe that is dev has not implemented that yet. Okay. Okay, after implementing, then again we need to test for that.
Ma'am,
Okay,
what is the
so that
difference
is
between the two URLs you give, ma'am? The first one and the second one?
this is just traversing inside the application. Okay, see, you will be having a multiple options, right? For example, see, this is the watches. This is an application inside that. Okay, watches is the main tab is there. Okay, so when you click on this, again, two more tabs will open. Okay, like this. So first you will come here. So you have a two path here. In that, which path you are going? Maybe you are going for this path. Then you will be getting a like women's watch. Maybe you don't want to go this path. You want to go this path. You remove the women's watch, then write like a men's watch. Then it will go to this path. Okay. So like a paths will be available. In that, which one you need to travel, you have to travel. It's a path. It's a information on the resource itself. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Then this third URL. Okay. So what you guys feeling by looking into this URL? What we are missing here?
Application name, domain name.
Domain name.
Domain name is? Yeah. Domain name? What? It's not there.
Instead of domain name, we are using IP address.
Okay. Is it a valid?
Yeah, it's valid.
Okay. According to Mohan, it's valid now. So what about others? Is it a valid? It will work or it will not work?
Yes, it will work. It's invalidated.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so in for domain name, see, each and every domain name is having its own IP address. Okay, for example, if you are using a WhatsApp, Facebook, or any other application, each application will be having its own IP address. So, for example, say suppose my name is Ashil. So for me, if they are provided, some employee ID means whenever they click, enter my employee ID, they have to receive my information only, right? It's not possible to receive other employee information. Okay, that employee ID is fixed for me. Okay, or else let's say suppose Aadhaar number. Okay, so on my name, whatever the Aadhaar has created, it is permanent, it will not change. Okay, so in the same way, okay, for any of the application, we'll be having the IP address that remains unchanged. Okay, which means that if you want to access the application through the IP address, is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Okay. For example, now you are accessing everyday Facebook, WhatsApp, all those things you'll be accessing, right? Instead of writing http/www.facebook.com, you can directly make use of a IP address to access the application. Just give it a try, okay? Instead of writing a domain name like facebook.com, get the IP address and just search for the application, it will open. Okay, so each and every application has its own IP address, so accessing through the IP address is possible. Okay, this is all interview question, just I take in here. So in interview they will ask you by giving this URL, is it a valid or not valid? Yes, it's a valid. By looking into this, you may feel that your domain name is missing here. Okay, if the domain name is not there, means how is possible to find out the application? So like that you may feel, right? But no. Okay, this IP address is nothing but domain name only. Domain name will be having a unique IP address for each and every application. IP address is unique. So by considering that, we can access the particular application. Okay. Okay. So this is all about a web URL. Any doubt in this? This is
Ma'am,
very basic information.
what is the connection between the domain name and the IP address? How are they related to one another? Like, if I give the IP address instead of the domain name, still it will go and reach the application. How it will work now?
See, yeah, see for each and every application, this is like a ID. Okay. See, for example, for you, they created one, let's say, suppose Aadhaar card or PAN card, something. Okay. So whenever they enter that other ID, so your information will open, right? Or else it will point to your information only, right? In the same way, for each and every application, they have a this IP address. Okay. See how they will generate, how they will do all those things, and it's not required for us, right? So we have unique address for each and every application, and with that we can access that. Okay. But this is how application works. For each and every domain, we will be having a unique IP address because um, see, why? Because we have to uniquely there we have to identify, right? For example, okay, you're joining to the company, okay, they will create immediately employee ID. Maybe you are joining some, some any of the application. If you're creating your account in a bank, so they will generate unique customer ID. Okay, so for each and everything we should be having some unique ID. So whenever they are entering in the bank customer ID, so your details has to open because that is only meant for you only in the bank also. In company as well, whenever they are entering your user ID, that is only meant for you only. It's not possible to provide other employee information or other customer information. Okay, in the same way, so suppose Durga, this is domain name is an application name. For that each and every application name, we will be having a unique address, unique ID. That is nothing but this, whatever the thing we are specifying here. So within that also we can access the application. That's it. Simple, okay? Okay. It's
Okay.
clear or anything
Yeah,
more?
ma'am. Clear.
Okay. Okay, so this web URL concept is very basic concept, but we have to take each and everyone point of view, right? I mean to say, some people are jumping from non-IT to IT, and some people are from manual to automation. Okay, then so many factors. So that's why from very basic, we are starting. Some people might have getting bored. So please wait for a week. Then we will start the actual session. Okay. Okay.
Ma'am, fragmented, it's not covered. I mean, didn't see any
Yeah.
URL
Yeah,
example.
by going forward, yeah, we will be covering, okay?
Okay.
This just about the URL, but here we have all the remaining story, okay? Okay. So now this is just a story, okay? This is like casual story I written here. So suppose this is a street, okay? And inside the street we have all the apartments, okay? So inside the apartment we have a flat, okay? So suppose this is a street in a city, and we have in that street we have all those four apartment. In that apartment we have a flats. In this, one two in this apartment one we have a two flats. In this apartment two we have a three flats. In this apartment we have a four flats, okay? So inside the flat also we have a persons. In the flat one we have a p1, p2, p3. In the flat two we have a p1 and p2, okay, so on. So now tell me, if I want to access the information of the P1, how do I traverse? P1 of the flat 2. Hmm. P1 of the flat 2.
Go for the street, then look inside the apartment 122, then inside that flat 2, and look for the person P1.
Hmm. Okay. So first we are going for the street, then we are going for the apartment 1, then we are going for the flat 2, Then we are accessing a P1 or P2 with whom, whose information we want to access, that we are going. Okay, so this is how we have to traverse inside the application as well. The same way how we are traversing, in the same way we have to traverse inside the application. So now here, instead of apartment 1, we have some ID here, 1 to 1, 122, 123, 124. Okay, it's an apartment ID. So what is apartment ID with respect to our web application? Apartments will be having a apartment ID, right? See, each and every apartment is having its different ID, apartment ID. Okay, so which means that, see, consider this is apartment 1, apartment 2, apartment 3, apartment 4. This is a
Key value
uh,
will
no. See, this apartment 1, apartment 2, apartment 3, apartment 4. These are all like considered like a domain name. So each and every domain name will be having a unique address, right? This is nothing but IP address. So in the same way, see, apartments will be having its unique apartment ID. So that is what we are referring with the IP address of the web application. Okay. If you taken this as a domain name, this is a unique IP address for the particular domain name. So for this apartment ID is a unique. So if you want to, refer for the apartment 1, you can refer apartment 1, or else you can specify the apartment ID. Yes, go for the apartment ID number 121, and go to the flat 2 in that, and check for the P1 person detail. Okay, so this is what it means. Okay, so we'll specify, right? We can tell like, okay, go to the apartment 1 and go to the flat 2, and access for the P1 person information. Okay, like that also we can specify, or else go to the 1 to 1 apartment number, and then go to the flat number 2, then access the information of the person 2. Okay, so which means that we can access any of the web application with the domain name, or else with the IP address. Okay, so this is what it is telling all about. Okay, clear with this or any doubt?
clear.
Okay, so now, now we have uh, understood that how the URL works and what are the parameters it contains. Okay, so now what happens when you type URL path means this is the browser. Okay, this is the browser. Okay, so whenever you are providing some address, okay, so whenever you are typing like HTTPS and some information, okay, whatsapp.com, okay, whenever typing some address, whenever you're clicking on enter, what happens internally? Okay, so first thing, internally it is going to create one request. Okay, so whenever you are giving address like this in the browser, internally it is going to create one request. It contains to and from information. Okay, so it contains to and from information. So what it is contains to and from information. Okay, so in the to, which is nothing but all the information you have provided here, like which application you want to access, in that application what resource you want to access, what extra information you are passing. So all the information will be given here. Okay, so if you take that apartment details, so okay, which street, okay, which apartment, which flat, and which is the which resource I want to access, means which person I have to speak, then what is the path I have to follow, all the information will go as part of the two. Okay, say suppose we have given that information in the browser, so it is created in the to address. Then what happens? Service will go for that particular apartment, then it will go for that particular flat, then it will go for the particular person, and it will they will speak with that person. Okay, So after speaking, as part of the response in the from, they have collected name and contact number of that person. Okay, so we are telling that, okay, go to the apartment 1 and go to the flat number 2 and go to that person P2 and get the contact number. So whatever the name and contact number we are getting back, that is in the address of the from address. Okay, so what happens whenever we are typing like this, internally it will create one request. It contains to and from information. In the to, what are all the details we have specified in this URL will be a part of the to. Okay, after reaching this address, whatever the information we are providing here, after reaching this address, as part of the response, what we will receive, that is part of the from address. Okay, so this is with respect to general example. The same example will be applicable here. Okay, see, this is a browser and we are searching for the facebook.com, and in that we are interested to access the login feature or login resource. Okay, so what's happening here? First we will enter the http:/facebook.com/login. Okay, so when we enter that, okay, where this facebook.com and http:/facebook.com/login information will go, it will go in the header part. Okay, so header is nothing but, in general example, this is a to information. It's a to information. Technically, if we are speaking, this we called as a header information. And also, this is nothing but HTTP request. Okay, so this is a part of the HTTP request. Okay, see here, it is a part of the HTTP request. What it contains, all the information what we provided in the web URL. Means which domain we have to access, in that domain which resource we have to access. Okay, so that is the part of the HTTP request. What it will do, okay, we are telling that, okay, go to the facebook.com and search for the login resource. It will go here. Okay, inside the network there are many applications we have deployed, n number of applications, right? So inside the network plenty of application is there. Okay, so in that it is accessing the Facebook. Okay, so in the Facebook we have a multiple resources like a login, home, etc. Okay, so in that we are interested to access the login. It will go immediately, control will click for the login button. So when it reaches to the whatever the resource we have specified, as part of the response, it has to give the response to the from address, nothing but body, nothing but HTTP response. Okay, so what it will do, okay, it is giving a response back. As part of the response here in the UI, means in your application, username, password and login button will be displayed. This is part of the response it will display. Okay, see, we will be not observed, right? Whenever we are accessing the Facebook application internally, all this action will happen. But simply we will, enter the address and if we click on that, it will, render us the application. That's what we think. But internally, all these actions will happen. Okay, so when we enter this internally in the browser, it will create an address like this, and it will divide the address like in HTTP request what it is going. As part of this request, what it has to, what this application has to provide as the response. Okay, after providing the response, how it is, displaying the same response in the UI. Okay, all this work internally it happens when we write, when we give some address in the browser. Okay, so this is how it works: HTTP request and HTTP response. Any doubt on this? How this is working?
Mom, 8080, why the port number is also included then, no? Along with the
This
domain.
is just a port number. Okay, it's just a port number. So how the port number will work also we'll be learning in further session. That is the port number. That is if it's required you can specify. If it's not also no issues. Okay. For example, say suppose you are installing a Facebook application. You are downloading the Facebook application to your your system. So whenever you are downloading, each and every application will consume a particular port number, means particular address location. So for each and every application that is different. For example, if I am installing Facebook in the 8080 means other application is not possible to install in that address. We have to choose 8081 by the time. Apart from that, we can also install in the same address, but what are the issue we will face, all those things we will be learning later. Okay, further session we'll be covering all those things. But this is like but optional parameter. This is completely optional parameter. If you want means you can specify. If you don't want means that is fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So anything, any doubt till now what we covered? I know it's a very basic information, but yeah, sometimes we must basic information on the right. It's good to have a complete knowledge on this before jumping into the API testing part.
All this not
Uh,
knowing, ma'am. I was not knowing.
okay, okay. So, tomorrow we'll be continuing some, we have to cover at port number and, how it is useful and what happens if we install the two application in the same port number. All those things we'll be learning, okay? So that one and fragment ID and some other information. After that, we'll start with the JSON language, okay?
Yeah, Harshil, a small doubt. So
Mhm.
other than HTTP, do we have any other protocols which can be used for this while sending this request?
See, if it is a browser level means only HTTP and HTTPS only we follow.
Okay.
Other than that, we have other protocols as well, but that is not supportable for the browser. Okay, if we are working with a browser level, then these two only. But apart from this, we have IFTP and SMTP, which we follow inside the organization, right? For the mail communication, and also we follow some protocols, right? So that is all different protocols.
Okay.
Okay. So that I will be discussing, Mohan, by coming sessions. Just I will give an idea of the other protocols, how they will work. For example, see, Google Drive is there, right? So for that also, we will, send the file, we will, upload the file in the Google Drive, and also we will share that files to some other peoples also. So while doing this activity, uploading the file to the Google Drive and sending that file to the other persons, there also internally we will be calling some protocols. That is nothing but file transfer protocol, like a FTP protocol. Okay. So for all this, activity, we will be internally calling the protocols, but we will be not observe that. Okay. So all this depends on the protocols as well. But if we are working with browser, for the browser level, only HTTP and HTTPS only supportable. These are meant for the browser level only. If it is a file transfer level, within the application, file transfer we are performing means then it is a FTP. If we are performing a mail communication within, particular area, that is, some other SMTP. For example, if you guys are working, you can go and check in your Outlook, okay, which, what protocol you guys are using. Okay, it will be specified that SMTP protocol. So usually SMTP protocol will be used for the internal mail communication. So let's say suppose within the organization or within, yeah, within some particular area. Okay. Yeah. Anything else?
Ma'am, how many days it will go for this course?
This course. See in this course, okay, workshop you guys are not attended.
Oh, no, Harshil, we
Right.
didn't attend.
Okay. See, in this course, what happens, so before we are planning for the 35 days. So in the 35 days, we will be covering only some basic part of the postman. Then we will be jumping completely into the automation part. But in previous session and all, some people have requested that some companies are working completely with the postman as well. Some few companies will be working with the rest assured. So by considering that, what we planned is we are covering complete, like till report generation. We are covering postman as well. Then only we are jumping to the automation. Okay. So by considering that, we have extended the time like 45 days. So 1 month, after that 15 days.
Yeah, so everything related to postman, like prerequisite scripts, test scripts, everything will be covered for that.
Huh,
That
yes,
reason I
yes.
have joined
Yeah.
this course.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, you have seen before, or like you have attended?
No. I have been already joined in my organization, but unfortunately, I am not able to write the scripts. So for the scripts, I have joined this course. So how to write the scripts, so how to get the knowledge on
Okay.
JSON, JavaScript, how to write the JavaScript like that. For those,
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Hello, Harshil.
Yeah, Sinam. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I just want to ask that this course is only related to API or manual or automation is also included.
No. Related to API, like manual approach and automation approach. But
Okay.
this is only meant for API.
Okay. Yeah.
In API
Thanks.
testing also, yeah, two ways we are doing, like using a postman, and one is completely rest assured automation part.
So at the end of the course, you will show some live project like that, right?
Yeah, we will be working on one framework at the end of the course.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah.
We will be able to write the test scenario test cases, including in this planning and all.
Yes. And let me open my Eclipse. Okay. Meanwhile, you can ask me the question if you have any doubt. Anything else you need confirmation?
Ma'am,
Hmm.
what is like everybody really knowing just to ensure that what I know is correct or not. What is a protocol, ma'am? Like the first one in the URL we find HTTP or HTTPS. So protocol, what is the use? Why do we have to use the protocol?
Okay. See,
As
protocol means, yeah, it is like it is like a set of rules it is providing. Okay. For example, if you are using a HTTPS protocol, it's like this protocol, this HTTPS, because of this protocol rule only, we are following remaining part. Miss, this is telling that if you are using a HTTP protocol, my URL should be like this. Means you have to follow. Means something like this is only this is like a base pillar. Okay, so this is according to this instruction only remaining data we are providing. Okay, so it is telling, this HTTPS is telling that okay, if you want to make use of that my protocol, so immediately after HTTPS you have to follow domain name only. Instead of the domain name, if you follow other thing, it will not give us the result, which means that this protocol is like a it is setting some rules and regulation on the URL that we are providing. Okay, so this is what controlling this. If it is not, then means then it will not even accept, right? It will not possible to understand by the browser that what address we are sending.
okay.
Understanding? Okay. Hmm. So this is the rest assured part. Any hope for the postman? We will be using postman tool. So in that we'll be working all the scripting part, and until report generation will be working. Most of the things whatever required for the organization means if you want to work inside the company on this, you can happily work. Okay, all the part will be covered in this till the report generation.
Actually, apart from rest assured, will anything related to Java basics will be covered. So whatever it is required for rest assured.
Yeah. So what I will do, I will start the rest assured. So while I'm coding, so whatever the Java part will come, so that I will explain. While explaining that part itself. Okay. But I suggest you guys. Anyhow, while we are working with a postman, we get around 20 days of time. Okay. So in that 20 days of time, daily one topic you just start covering in the Java.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, just have a plan, and okay. So anyhow, first we will start with the postman only. So while I'm covering the postman thing, daily you guys start learning of a Java part that is only OOPS concept. Just concentrate on the OOPS concept. Okay, that is more than enough. If you are strong in the OOPS concept, that is more than enough. Start learning the OOPS concept. But in the middle, if you have any documents, just inform me. In the next session, I will try to clear it on that hand Java.
Ma'am,
But
you
okay,
mean
but
to say that
separately time we are not spending here. That already spent like that. But we will not cover the most of the concept illustration. Huh?
ma'am,
Yes, tell me.
like, meanwhile, whenever we get time, like every day, we need to open the YouTube videos and start learning the OOPS concepts in Java. That's what we need to learn, right, ma'am? You said only concept.
Yes, yeah. Oops, concepts. You
Okay.
can refer the DurgaSoft YouTube channel. See, you can refer the DurgaSoft YouTube channel. Okay. In that Durga's videos is only available, right? It's more than enough. Okay. If you are starting from the scratch, also it's a more than enough. Those videos are very good actually. If you are starting from very basic level as well. See, this is what the framework that we are implementing. Okay. So in this framework, it will be all the test cases and the reusable methods, token okay. This is all reporting part. So till the reporting part we will be covered, and finally after the completion of this framework, like integration with the GitHub and integration with the Jenkins. Okay.
Yeah, hi Ashil.
Yes.
Which framework we are
yeah,
using? Yeah, which framework we are using?
Sorry.
Which framework?
Which test in data driven framework only.
Okay. I mean, we are using any Cucumber like.
Cucumber, we are not following actually in this project. But yeah, if you require a higher here and there some structure will differ, but whatever the code you follow, okay. If you require a idea, in the at the end of the course, I will just take a one session to explain the Cucumber part.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I will see. Okay. If possible, I will try to cover that. Okay. How it's how it goes, I will check. But as of now, this is what we are following. Complete integration till the GitHub and the Jenkins. All those things will be as part of the framework.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking. It's chopping off.
And one more thing, before while is it my voice? I think your
Yeah.
voice is breaking. I guess. Am I? Am I audible?
Is it happening only to me? I feel like
No, it's breaking.
Yes,
it's
keep on
breaking.
breaking in between.
It is chopping.
Hello.
We couldn't
Okay,
hear
so now
what
is
you
it fine?
spoke like clearly. What you were speaking just in 2 minutes ago, no, ma'am. We couldn't hear that very clearly. It was like breaking, chopping. Maybe net issue.
Okay. So now Oliver is able to hear. Fine. Okay. So that's it, guys. Okay. Yeah,
So
this
from
is
what will the timing from the tomorrow classes? It will be 8 a.m. or 7 a.m.
so actually we planned is a 7 a.m. only. So we will take a maximum strength, opinion, guys. Okay. So if you all are, okay with the 7 a.m., we'll start with the 7 a.m. only. If you all are, interested to join for the 8 a.m., we'll go over for that as well. Just, it's all about your opinion.
Okay, I mean, I'm good with both the timings.
Okay. Okay. What about others? You can ping in the chat, no? Because by considering that only, we have to fix the batch timing now.
Harshil, I'm okay with any time, like 7 or 8.
Yeah, Venu. Yeah. How are you, Venu?
I'm good, thanks.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Okay. 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 Others can also ping, Fine. Let me come, in the demonstration. So yeah, okay. 7, 8. Okay. Okay, we'll take a man completing the demonstration, who are interested to enroll, they can enroll. After that, we'll take the opinion from each and everyone, and then we will fix the time.
Harshil, tomorrow it will be like 8 o'clock only, right?
It is also fine, right?
No. Tomorrow at what time we'll have demo again? 8 or 7?
Yeah. Demo will be 8 only.
Okay, yeah.
Same. Demo is 8 only.
Ma'am, I told you in the first class, ma'am, like I'm joining somewhere else for 7 class. So if it is if you change the timings for like 7, then for the regular classes, I won't be able to join. That was my only concern.
That 7. What you're telling? Is it same? Okay, guys. First, who are all interested, just enroll. So after enrolling, we'll take the opinion from each and everyone. Then we will fix the time. Okay.
Ma'am,
Then
ma'am, suppose if you, after enrolling, if people change the timings from 7, ma'am, then I'll not be able to attend, ma'am. So that's why, before enrolling only, I need to know what is the timing. Because 7 to 8, I'm enrolled somewhere else. I have to join the other class. I will not be able to take this class. So for that reason, before enrolling only, if it gets clear that it is going to be 7 or 8, 8 means this time I can join. 7 means I need to join next time. And next time when you start conducting this. That's why.
Yeah, I could see in the chat as well. Most of the people are, interested for the 8 a.m. only. We'll go with the 8 a.m. maybe. Okay.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah. Okay. Okay then. Okay. We'll connect later. Sorry, we'll connect tomorrow. Yeah. Bye. Take care.
Bye, ma'am.
Thanks.
Yeah. Bye. Yeah.